My next guest clearly does not get paid by the hour because he's coming off a first-round finish on Dana White's Contender Series and earned a contract. It is Malcolm Wellmaker joining me here on the program. Malcolm, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Still riding high, enjoying the victory and feeling good, man.
Yeah, and we're a few weeks removed from the fight, but I got to ask, has it sunk in yet that you're a UFC fighter? I'm sure at this point it has to have, sunk in.
Yeah, it's sinking in a little bit every day, but it still gets more and more real as I, watch these fight nights and think about, what the phone call coming up could be and how soon I could be facing these guys I've been watching for so long, man. But it's getting more and more real. It's sinking in, and I'm learning to try to figure out how to navigate it.
Could that fight have gone any better? I mean, like I said, you don't get paid by the hour. It's good to get in and out there and punch out early and the fight.
Yeah, no, I think that was best case scenario. It was pretty short, but it was still long enough for me to show that I have a few different tools. It was long enough for me to showcase my style, what I think makes me exciting. And I think it was even long enough for Adam Bramhall to show that he had some skill about himself as well. So I think it was perfect case scenario, man. Short, sweet, but long enough to show everything I needed.
Did the fight kind of play out how you thought it would? I mean, you go out there, you finish a lot of your fights. Did it kind of play out sort of the same way you had in your head going in?
If you want to talk about the first round finish, the shot I landed, stuff like that, like generally, yeah, it went how I thought it would go. But one thing that really surprised me was this guy was like so confident. He didn't fear my power at all. And even after like multiple exchanges of me getting close to landing, real hard shots, he still kept coming forward, and it almost made him more aggressive. That was super surprising. I thought he was going to be a lot more respectful, a lot more cautious, but he wasn't. And I think it worked in my favor.
Anything surprised you about him looking back on the fight?
Yeah, just the confidence and the willingness to trade with me. Maybe, I don't know if it was a lack of respect or I don't know if it was a response to him getting flustered, but that definitely surprised me. I thought I'd established that I was dangerous and be able to kind of walk him a bit and force the fight my way. But it wasn't the case. I had to react to what he was giving me because he was so aggressive.
You must have known at that moment you had the contract. Was there any doubt at all? Because you never know, right? Like it's not guaranteed until Dana actually says it.
Yeah, no, I was pretty confident, man. That was, I feel like, the best knockout so far that they had this season on the Contender Series. And I felt like that, if that don't give me a contract, then maybe the UFC not for me. So, I was absolutely confident. I felt fantastic every moment between the knockout and when I actually got my contract from him. So I knew it was coming.
What's been the feedback like since the win, I should say? And I got to give credit to sort of a mutual friend of ours, Dan Levy. I know has been big on you for quite some time. He's been doing a good job getting your name out there. How much does stuff like that help? It seems like you got a lot of people in your corner.
Man, I tell you, man, Dan in particular, like he's one of the guys who literally, before I had any MMA fights, this was like when I was less than a year in training, he saw me do a kickboxing match where I knocked a guy out with, the big gloves and headgear, and he became an absolute believer. He's been, preaching to people that I was going to make it way before I believed it in myself. And there's like a ton of people like that, all throughout my city, friends, family, coworkers that was like, bro, you going to the UFC, you're going to be a champ. And, I always, accepted the praise and compliments, but I feel like so many people believed that it was going to happen and was rooting for me to see it happen. And it feels so good to finally, prove those guys right, man. It's big.
Yeah, there was a lot of buzz. Was it maybe even more than you anticipated? Because I saw a lot of people talking about that knockout. I'm sure you had a ton of followers after that on social media. Was that something you anticipated?
More or less, I definitely thought it was gonna get some traction. It did more than I thought for sure. ESPN, they posted the reel and they collaborated with me, which was cool. And it got like almost 300,000 likes, ton of followers. It's been real good. And then my management has done a great job, man. They've connected me with so many people, and we're really trying to get as much as we can out of this moment and set up for the next one.
So when are you looking to get back in there? Again, looked like you didn't take much damage. I know a lot of the guys who won on Contender Series do want to get that one more fight this year. Is there kind of a card you're looking at? What would sort of be ideal for you to get back in there?
Yeah, man. I want to get in ASAP. Like I was saying, if I had to be a backup for Merab and O'Malley, like, I'd jump in. But, hopefully by the end of the year, I took next to no damage, man. I feel fantastic. I got some momentum. So, if I can get in there before the end of the year, it'd be fantastic. I'm already back training. I'm still in fight shape. And, my fingers are crossed, just waiting for a phone call.
You referenced Sean O'Malley, obviously the title fights this Saturday. Listen, I know you're a fan of MMA just as much as the rest of us. We were talking about my poster just before we hopped on here. Who do you got this Saturday? Who do you think gets it done?
I got O'Malley, man. I don't think it's going to be an easy fight, of course. And nobody thought the Algin fight was going to be easy either. But Sean O'Malley consistently has come out and performed better and better every single fight. And I think that's going to be the case in this fight as well. I do think that Merab can be hit. I just know everybody knows that Sean O'Malley can knock people out. So for sure he'll hurt him. I think he'll be able to establish his game, work his space, and, hopefully put on a clinic, man, because I want him to keep the belt. I want to take it from him.
It's interesting. I think a lot of people feel like if Merab wins, it might be a decision or late finish, but I'm with you. Like, I have the same prediction. I think O'Malley is going to finish him. And if you watch, I know it's a long time ago, it was a couple of years ago, but that Marlon Moraes fight, I think that was a good glimpse into if he fights a power guy like O'Malley. And again, O'Malley's got some serious power, how that could go. So that's what I think. He's got 5 rounds to knock out Merab. I think that's enough of an opportunity for him to do it, right? So we'll have to see.
Yeah, long time, man. And Sean O'Malley hits hard, man. And he's super precise and accurate, man. You got to give him his flowers. Got to, man. So I'm looking for him to go out there and win, man. I'm trying to keep the Sugar Show going.
So take me through what life looks like right now, because you had this big opportunity on Contender Series. I'm sure everything was sort of put on hold. It's like, I got it. This is my opportunity. I got to do it. So what are things like now? You mentioned being back in the gym. Are you getting to stuff that maybe you couldn't get to in camp? Like what is September looking like for you right now?
Well, to be honest, man, we've got a good-sized competition team, and probably not bigger than any other major gym. But for the small-sized gym we have a really tight-knit group, man. So as soon as I was able to get back on the mats, man, after class every night, I'm holding mitts for guys. I'm giving rounds to guys with particular looks. I'm still running our Sunday conditioning classes, our open mats on Saturdays. A lot of what I'm doing is really being there for my teammates on the amateur squad that have their fights coming up, and in turn staying in fight shape myself. So that's what the gym's looking like. Obviously, I'm still trying to maximize my social media. So I'm doing a ton of photo shoots, a ton of footage, hopefully putting out some more content soon, and back on the clock for now, hopefully quit my job soon.
There you go. And what is your job for those who might not know?
I'm a pipe fitter, union welder. I got into the apprenticeship in 2015, finished my apprenticeship in 2020, and I've been in the trade since then. I work at a in-town fab shop in Jackson, South Carolina, about 40 minutes from my house. And it's hard work. It's hard work, So, I'm still in there. And even though I love the trade, I love, the stuff that I've learned in it. I'll keep it, in my back pocket, but I'm ready to get out of there, man.
Are they pretty cool about you fighting? Like in terms of if you have to get to practice and stuff like that, are they pretty supportive?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Whenever I fight in Augusta, man, half of the crowd is pipe fitters. Like, my job, they work with me when I need time off. They're fantastic, and I break my back for them. So, we look out for each other, but they do good for me.
Any other hobbies? You watching any other sports? You a video game guy? You got anything else going on outside of fighting?
Honestly, not too much, man. Like, most of my time is predominantly training, and I'll hang out. I watch fights with my friends. I'll hang out with my family and stuff like that. But between working a full-time job, training, and a little bit of downtime I have to kind of just kick back and maybe like watch some TV or something like that, that's really all I'm doing. So fighting, man, fighting and working.
And making time for interviews, Malcolm. Really appreciate it, man. Great performance on Contender Series. Excited for that debut whenever it comes up. But in the meantime, if you got anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media you want to mention, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, man. My socials is Walla the Machine on Instagram, Twitter, pretty much everything. You can find me on YouTube. I'm putting out a lot of content. I put out vlogs in the past. I'm trying to keep it going. Just search Malcolm Wellmaker. It's on there. And just a huge shout out to, Augusta. Everything I've done in my career, I've had so much support from my city. And when I accomplished making it to the UFC, they really, really showed me how much they were happy with what I did and how much they take ownership over the glory with me, man. So big shout out to my city, all my supporters, friends, family, teammates. I love you so much. And let's get ready to do it again.